I know about zest. I'm not fully clean unless I'm zestfully clean. I know that. A zesty salad dressing, maybe, or
I like I like talking about zest because it's like this quality that isn't just energy, it's like delicious energy. When Amy does it in the Wired to Connect, she's talking about different pathways that are supported by and support relationships. If everything goes as planned, then we associate this really good feeling with healthy relationships. Like when I first asked you to do this, I thought of you because I feel energized when I get to interact with you. Like I enjoy our conversations and we usually laugh a lot.
I think you're calling me zesty. And I'm okay with that. I mean, yeah, call me middle name Zesty, Don Zesty
Don
Griffin.
Zesty Griffin. And I was thinking about like some of our harder conversations and that the fact that we have a mutually growth fostering relationship and that I think both of us experience a sense of energy from our conversations and from our relationship that fuels us during some of the harder conversations. Like it allows us to have harder conversations because we already have the 5 good things in our relationship.
I see. That makes sense.
So
and without those 5 good things, it will be hard to talk about the harder stuff, right? I think you have to have that relationship with someone to tackle harder conversations.
Like the times that you keep going, even when it's really hard, even when you might be like super tired of having the same conversations over and over. I'm not talking about like politics. I'm talking about racism through relationships, through connection. How do we fuel each other in keeping going?
I don't know. It's sometimes it's just not fun. Sometimes you just do it. You have to do it because no one, it's like, if not you, who? You have the platform, you're there. Life is short. Somebody has got to stick their head out and say, this is wrong. We have to do something. It's not fun.
It's not fun. I would say what makes it doable is having good connections with other people.
You're right, having good connections, finding those other connections, knowing that you can't do it alone.
I think that's important.
They keep saying leadership is lonely. I say that all the time. But with these big problems that we have, you have to change your leadership style. You have to become a leader who creates other leaders.
Yeah, empowerment.
You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. Know your limitations. Find other people's strengths. Create your super team. I'm always trying to create, no matter where I'm at Griffin Realty, looking at our weaknesses or starting off looking at my own weaknesses and finding the people that make me stronger. I'm not very good at organizing. So I need someone that's a great organizer. So I've got a Rachel, and you have to create your own Justice League. Hell, Amy, sometimes I think you have to hurt with folks too.
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge the hurt. What happened in Colorado? All this division, all these. I'm sorry, we could talk about something else. It's just,
I don't think we have to talk about something else because I think the reason that I do RCT is because I want to have the tools to change the world, because I want to be able to keep going when I'm faced with things like this, because I want to believe in the power of mutual relationships.
I know, but sometimes you don't want to find that one true thing to connect with someone who hates. That's one of my things. I do that. If there's one thing that I remember about RCT is finding that thing. I'm able to connect with people that may not like me because of my skin color or the car I drive or, or my politics. Heck, I mean, it's helped me in negotiating here at the city. Finding that one true thing, finding something that we both have in common, and we can talk about that for 15 minutes before getting into what we really are there to talk about. And then we leave talking about what we like again. People that do the things like kill and hate, it's great to find out why, but when they're hurting others, sometimes I feel like it's too late.
And I will remind all of us that not every conversation is one you have to have. Like when Maureen talks about it, and she talks about the Viking guy at the January 6th thing. And she's like, I'm not talking to him. He's not my job. I don't, right? Right. Okay. So
yeah,
the fuel, the energy piece, if we've got mutually growth fostering relationships, if we've got like these connections that help bolster us, that help us be more courageous in naming conflict when it comes up, if we've got those growth fostering relationships that give us that energy, that give us that fuel to keep going, then we are better able to stand up for what's right when it's time. We're better able to say, hey, this costume that you're wearing is transphobic, or instead of just letting it slide by without naming it. For me, at least, knowing that I've got that support helps me be more courageous. Making a point of deep connection with a friend can feel as good as, or even better than, a glass of wine.
What kind of wine?
I don't know. But my point is, you train your brain to look for energy in healthier places.
Okay, yeah. So training your brain, I like that.
To find energy out of your connections.
Mm-hmm.
And then to use that as fuel to like keep doing hard things. Sometimes I imagine that someone that I really love is like holding my hand when I'm doing something hard. And I get that boost of energy just from imagining it.
That's a powerful statement. Would like your dad hold your hand sometimes? I mean, it's a powerful thought,
Yeah, it could be
that my grandma, who I haven't seen in 30 years, is holding my hand through.
Yeah. When Amy Banks talks about it, she talks about the positive relational moment and like pulling that up and noticing like what it feels like.
Very cool.